Facebook Live. John will be monitoring that. He'll shout out the questions, and we'll try to the best of our abilities to answer these questions. Some of the questions might be stuff we cannot share, so no be hoo-hoo about that. That's what it is when you're dealing with banking regulations and stuff. We cannot reveal everything, but as much as we can, we try and be transparent. So yeah.
All right, so the main camera is now streaming, and so that means we're live on the website right now. Okay. All right, so whenever you guys want to start.
Okay. Aloha, gang.
All right.
So my name is Brandon Maka'ava. I'm the Deputy Head of State of the Nation of Hawaii. And I'm here with the Head of State of the Nation of Hawaii, Dennis Pu'onua Pompeikanahea.
Hi, aloha.
Aloha. And so, yeah, gang, we're here today to answer a few questions. We're going to have one quick question and answer session for people that are curious about the economic development plans that we have for our nation, our citizens, all of Hawaii, the world. And so we're here to answer some of these questions because our nation believes in being a transparent nation because we're trying to do the right thing. And we're just trying to provide solutions for our people, Hawaii, the world. And, with technology today, we're able to go live with you guys to discuss some of these things. And so, yeah, I just gonna kind of get right into it. Last week, we had a press release where we introduced the formation and the launch of the Nation of Hawaii Central Bank. And for those of you that are curious to understand what a central bank is, basically every country, every nation has one central bank, and that's the apex bank of a nation. It's a foundation of an economy for our nation. So it's different than a commercial bank that most of us is dealing with today when we get deposits, or you save your money in the bank, you go to the ATM for draw money, all of that kind of stuff. That's not what a central bank is. You go into Bank of Hawaii, First Hawaiian Bank, these are commercial banks. That is below the central bank. The central bank is for the government to move and exercise an economy. The central bank has important functions such as it distributes the money of a nation. It does a lot of the business for a nation. And so since we are the nation of Hawaii and we are building our nation as we go, we've been building that for the last 27 years. We've always wanted to do economic development for our nation along the way, and we've created this central bank, and so that's kind of where we're at right now. I know a lot of people had questions last week about, let me just address the first question that a lot of people have been asking, which is whether or when will you be able to deposit money and bank with us with our central bank? And the answer for that right now is, like I explained earlier, you cannot actually bank with our central bank. This is something we're building so that we're going to build one commercial bank where you can go to and open deposits and transact and do your normal banking practices. But as of right now, the central bank is actually just a foundational piece that our country needed in order to get to that part where you guys asking the question about depositing money in our bank. So I hope that kind of clears that air.
Let me add to what Brandon was saying. A central bank that has started already that the nation has started. Really, when we first found out what we were going to do about the central bank, um, it was that mentality of, oh, we can put our money in the bank and all that stuff. Um, but then, little did we realize that there were a lot of policies, rules, regulations, things that banking institutions got to adhere to that we had to learn. So the last time that we talked, in fact, few days ago we talked and somebody had asked a question about when does it start? We were in a discussion. When does everything start? Well, it started. It started, and it starts with understanding what a central bank, what the kuleana of the central bank is. And so it starts with acts that got to be created because we're a nation. We created a central bank for the nation of Hawaii, for our citizens, for the people of Hawaii. And I think more importantly is the challenges that arise is to put out notifications and communications to government officials. We've written the president 3 times. They received it, but we had no letters back from the president. We're trying to communicate directly with the White House. But the notification of us creating this central bank, I think, is more important for us to start to move on. We need to educate everybody that we're involved with, our people, the people of Hawaii, as to what this means. It's totally the taxpayer is not paying for this. Taxpayers of Hawaii, you're not paying for any of the things we're doing. The nation has literally been blackballed out of a lot of opportunities that benefit a lot of our people. And so we realized that the blackball was probably the best thing that happened because we had to go out and actually exercise self-determination. We had to go out and determine what we were going to do as a nation, what we had to go out and look at to bring back so that we could bring this back and share this with our people. And so the central bank has a lot of parts to it. So when questions arise about the accounts and all that, we're going to get there. We're going to get there real quick. But I think it's again, this is a dialogue that we started. And mind you that we never did this before. I think nobody in the world has done this before. And basically because of our history as Hawaiians, how injustice has just engulfed our lives for generations. And so now to go back and to create what we know now is a financial foundation or economic base for the country would be to start a central bank. And so we have partnered. We have a partner in that area that qualifies and has all the credentials to take on the part on helping us build that central bank as well. So yeah, we're excited. We're really excited. There's a lot of things that but it's more than one thing going on because me too. I wanna use my own wallet. I want to use my own transaction, my opportunity to do those things. Now, all the technical stuff, right, is all done already.
Yeah.
Other stuff that we got to learn more about, and I think we're going out in a public, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start having discussions and stuff about what we're doing because like my uncle is talking about, we all learning this, and our people, we gotta learn this kind of stuff too because it's it's not a lot of opportunities to build your own bank for Hawaiians. Uncle No, he's been trying to do them for the last 25 years, trying to build on bank for Hawaiians, and we never had the opportunities over here to do that. And when we did have the few opportunities, like Uncle said, we got blackballed, we got shut down.
Yeah.
Even till now, this resource that we got to help build this bank, this guy had to come from another country because he understood the plight of our people, and he understood that politics alone is not going to help rebuild and restore our nation and our identity as a people. We needed something more, and that's what this central bank is hoping to do, is to bring an influx of resources directly to our people, and in no way getting mixed up in the politics of things and getting blocked and all that. We don't got time for get blocked anymore. That's our whole life as Hawaiians, is we battling all these blocks. This is one clear pathway as long as everybody follow the rules. And that's why we walking this thing true with our people, because we don't like mess this up. We like this be able to be something that helps, of course, our citizens, because you got to be one citizen to be part of this and participate in our bank. But then all of Hawaii, even if you're not one citizen, you're gonna benefit from this bank, because it's gonna bring new resources that they're not coming from Hawaii, and we just keep draining the same economic pots. We're getting something from outside that just coming to help and aid humanitarianly, all kinds of stuff.
And not a burden to the taxpayers.
Biggest
We're
thing.
we're really conscious about taxpayers' money, because we know that it's not being utilized right.
Yeah.
I think government is in a what Johnny called it word, quagmire. Quagmire.
Quagmire.
Yeah, they're in a
one trap.
Yeah, they're in a trap because of the injustice. And what has grown and expanded was more bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy meaning permitting, leases. I mean, everything in the book has expanded, but the economy.
Yeah.
So the central bank has so many different ways that it can help the state of Hawaii. Hey, man, we should run for the kind governor and lieutenant governor. Yeah, show me now. Hey, think about it now.
Yeah.
Look the kind of people we get running this place all this time. And I guarantee you, not one of them, the politicians, only kidding now. Okay? The politicians not going to be as concerned about Hawaiian rights as we are. And this is why we're doing the central bank. Look, we have to go out of town, find a banker who believes in the apology law. He believes in the apology law. This banker that is helping us create, our own economic wealth. And Hawaiians, you guys are going to be shareholders of this. The bank knows that, the banker knows that this is what we wanted forever, because that puts a whole different type of country together.
Yeah.
One that's going to be taking care of his people, not just Social Security. How about economic security?
Mm.
You get your stipend, you get your shares like that. Hey, us guys adamant about that.
Yeah.
Before we talk about that, 25 years ago, they thought I was crazy. They thought we're crazy. What are you guys talking about? You can't do that. It's not banking business.
No,
of course, this is not banking business. This is an old ahupua'a system that operated completely sustainable, self-sufficient, highly organized, all of that, right? We took that of our kupuna and put it into economics today.
Mm.
So now instead of the water on the top, which they turn off all the time and even divert all the streams, imagine a bank on the top that is owned by us, the people. That's what we're talking about.
And the water and the resources of that bank flow to us, no matter where on the ahupua'a you stay. So you don't even have to be friends with Walter Dodds or friends with one OHA trustee or whatever it is to get resources. all of us gonna have equal access to the resources because all of us have a share in this bank, and that's the that's the beauty and of the kupuna's knowledge and their wisdom from way back. The ahupua'a system is the original economy of Hawaii, and the thing lasted for thousands of years. So why not take that model and implement? Bank gonna sit at the top of this ahupua'a here in Hawaii, and it's gonna flow downstream, and it's gonna reach everybody that sign up with the nation of Hawaii, start doing business with the nation of Hawaii, and start going through that process because that's the direct links to that resource that we're gonna be providing from our bank. And then you're gonna have the residual guys that do business with you, on the outskirts. And this thing just gonna spread because we're not interested in being just bankers. We're not interested in doing business as usual, how everybody is used to banking being done, not just here in Hawaii, but all over the world. We're interested in creating one new model that gets the resource from the top out to the people as efficiently as possible because we don't have time for waste right now. We stay in this quagmire that Uncle keeps talking about. We stay in this trap over here, and we're relying on people to get access and to bring help to us. And in the meantime, we say suffering. And it's not enough for us guys to complain about that. We all know the problems and the situation. And for us, at least, we know where that problem started, the overthrow, So we know all these things. And we could just sit back and just keep talking and ragging on them. But Uncle or Kupuna, they take one different approach. And so when we look for this solution, we found partners willing to help halfway across the world. And they wanted to help us create this central bank because they knew that in order for us to stand up one nation, for bringing justice, economic prosperity, so that we can fix this trap we're seeing over here, we need one tool like a central bank. And that's what the central bank going to do for you as a citizen of the nation of Hawaii, and going to do for you as one resident of Hawaii, because you're going to be our economy is not just going to stay here in our nation. The thing going to spread, and you're going to start to see these businesses start to reach out into the communities, and they're not going to be like the businesses you used to see. They're going to come with that same mindset that us guys coming with the being more equitable, being more shareholder driven, where people get to be shareholders of these businesses, all of that kind of stuff. But we're starting from the top because that's where all the problems started. And so we're looking at changing stuff. We gotta start at the top and gotta start with something like a central bank for our economy.
That's so key. We've only known savings account, checking account, deposits and loans, never looking at banking from a central bank view, from inside out. And when you do that, then you realize that, wow, central banks create banks.
Yeah.
They create other financial institutions like banks, like mortgage companies, like credit unions. So that's what we're developing right now. Because now we're reading the acts, we're going through the acts, so we're reading all these things we can do as a central bank. Right now we're coming up to going through the criminal codes, which is like about 1,000 pages. Right? That's what I'm talking about, the work that's we continue to do. That's what Brand was saying. Easy, work is being done, but that's the kind of work. A lot of, we're not bankers, so we got to read 1, 10, 15, 20 times the same line, because it's important to understand. We're learning. I want to know this. I want to know this. I want the next generation to know. I want the next generation long to go. We want to take it into the elementary schools and not only have our dance, our traditional ceremonies and all that, but have O-level Hawaii in economics, in banking. We created Official Languages Act in the banking process that we're going through that actually Hawaiian is the first language in our bank, right? So we're going to be looking for extra help in translating these documents, which would then be like a two-pronged attack, because then if you translate it, you're going to know the banking laws of our bank. You're going to know that. And then that's where our bankers are going to come from. All of us know how O-level Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
Look forward to having O-level Hawaii in banking. Look forward to being part of the central banking system, which we incorporated from the ahupua'a system, right? And integrate ourselves into that. Wasn't all political. We got steered off course. We're trying to always look for political restoration of independence or federal recognition and all that stuff. It was never about that. It was always about economics.
Yeah.
And and we knew about it. We knew what that meant. At least we know now. For sure.
And Uncle, I think the kind of people, we're not mild to that, the economic side. We're always, we're getting real good at the politics side, and people understanding their rights, they're understanding, all these things because of, of course, the movement that you've been involved with for the last 4 decades, all these, educators and all of that. But the part we was really missing was that economic piece, the one that, now, because we're building this out, we're not only thinking about the ahupua'a when it comes to money, resources, and all that, but also education. We got to share the education with the keiki. And that's why Uncle talking about the Hawaiian Language Act that we passed in our nation, so that our keiki, that going to emerging schools and all that, they're not just learning about our culture, our language, our kupuna's ways, but we got to teach them the economic ways of how you restore
from baby.
Yeah, from baby time.
Why? They're gonna be shareholders.
They're gonna be shareholders. They gotta know.
The keiki gonna be shareholders. When you born into the wealth. This is what the whole central banking idea of the nation was all about, was to share that wealth. But we fight too much when we talk about politics. So the nation just took its course, what it has done since 1993, and just continue to pursue that. And we came across somebody that heard what happened to us.
Yeah. And gang, it's really about the opportunities that we've had and the opportunities that we haven't had. I guarantee you, most of you guys out there never had the opportunity to one day be one shareholder of one bank, never had the opportunity to learn about banking. The thing just never, it's not part of our lifestyle because we stuck in the rat race, like Uncle talking about the quagmire, the trap. Yeah, they teach us about our history, they teach us about all these other things to keep us guys busy. Meanwhile, these guys forming banks around us, we taking our money to them, and we still over here stuck with surviving. When we had our own bank, we could be prospering because all that money, all that elite trust money that is out there sitting in other people's banks that they're making money off of should be in our bank, all of them, so that if the trust is not helping us, because we're not getting no help from any of these trusts, but if all our money was inside this bank that we all own, then we all can get dividends from this trust. So it's not just, it's not just sitting somewhere making money for somebody else. Yes. And us guys over here complaining about why they're not helping us and all that. No, the thing will be centralized somewhere, and we're gonna get something from these guys finally.
Shareholders. The shareholders of all of those banks, the Japanese have their own bank, Chinese have their own bank, the Howleys have their own bank, all these companies. And remember, a lot of these banks go back to the overthrow. You know, they go back to the overthrow. We're not crying about the history. We're talking about why we took this avenue to create our own central bank when we had the opportunity to work with somebody that believed in us, believed in what we were doing. I think that is the most important thing, that we've exhausted all avenues and remedies with regards to self-determination and self-governance from the state and federal government. We participated in the past two self-determination constitutional conventions. Both failed. Millions and millions of dollars lost. Taxpayers' money, or at least 20% of that. And so I think the trust might bankrupt the state if they would put all their money in one place in our bank. But you can put a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Because there's your people going to be in there that we're going to be taking care of. All the details in all how this is going to come out, going to work. I think everybody is learning how to use their phones or the technologies today, right? Everybody learning them today, and so we got to learn that. We got to figure out, especially as old guys like me, we got to figure out how to use this, how to do all our transactions, and even how to vote with this. Even how to vote with this. That's what we got to do. We constantly have to learn this, otherwise we're going to be behind. And we try to, like I try to at least, you know, between Brian, John, and this young generation I'm working with, they're quick. You know, realizing that you left in a dock if you're not texting too. You know, that kind. You're not texting, you're 1 week behind. Why? Because that's how they communicate. Us guys call.
Yeah.
They don't pick up the phone. I just would text them, they text back. I call them. Like, so this is on one, what? Digital divide, you could call it, a communication gap that we're working on as well, right? But
and the kind too, Uncle, you know, this is something that we're all learning together, so we all can go slow together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can go together.
Because cannot just be the young generation learning all this kind of stuff and leaving the kupuna in the dust. We gotta bring everybody along with us. That's why we're talking about education for the keiki, the babies, the kupunas. So if you're educating the babies and you're educating the kupunas, we're catching everybody. It's like pie-pieing, you know, it's like surrounding one pile. We gotta educate like this. We gotta walk through them like this, and we're gonna take them slow because we understand that, you know, we haven't been given these opportunities, and we don't even know the power of economic, you know, self-sufficiency anymore. We're so reliant on somebody else's economy. We're so reliant on the state. We're so reliant on the trust will give us help. Well, it's about time for us guys to have some of that power and feed that power back to us. And this is the whole idea behind creating shareholders and having our central bank owned by the people they're serving, so that our bank is always accountable to the people they're serving. It's unlike any other bank you guys ever did see. And hopefully this becomes a model that can change things, not just in Hawaii, but all around the world. You know, and I think, you know, Uncle, next week we get, you know, some big things coming out too, right? The launching of, you know, the digital currency of the nation of Hawaii. You guys heard about Aloha Coin before. We're coming out with one new digital currency that is tied directly to the central bank. That's part of the function of a central bank. Is central banks can create currency, right? So you get the central bank up here, which is the apex economic engine for one economy for a nation. Every nation get one central bank. You check every nation out there, they get one central bank. That central bank creates the money for the economy of the nation. They're the engine. They keep that everything going. What we used to dealing with is commercial banks. So that's what we this is what we're starting with at the top. We're going slow because we need to, make sure everybody understands, and more importantly, us guys understand when we're implementing these things, there's power behind it. And also we gotta be careful and make sure we're following all the rules and regulations, because this is something gotta be done, because we want it to be safe for you to use. We want it to be safe for our nation to build off of. And so, if you guys, not happy with the pace we're moving at and all that, just understand that it's for everybody's safety, so that we can really have a prosperous new economy, and we're building them out like that. But next week gonna be the launching of our digital currency. Um, NFT is gonna come after that, and
Yeah,
and if
that's
we
right.
and if we're losing people right now with this talk, don't worry about it. We'll come back on, talk more about it with you
Yeah.
guys. We're gonna go out into the community, maybe when things is safe, so we can engage with you guys face to face, because I know, not a lot of people um maybe can catch this through digital. We gotta be in person, and we like being in person with you guys.
Yeah.
We like everybody understand this, because it's gonna benefit all of us. And if we all understand this kind of stuff, it's gonna be better all the way around.
Yeah, if you're not Hawaiian, it doesn't mean you're not involved. If you leave Hawaii,
Yeah.
all your life, or you have love for Hawaii, please get involved. I think it would be like very helpful. I would just show more solidarity to what we're doing, because one thing for sure is the apology law was more powerful than people realize. A lot of people use the apology law, even us, to pursue the political independence side or restoration thereof, whatever. Any organization that was doing something. The apology law kept us going in that direction, politics. We just pulled back from that and said, you know what, we're all right. But since we did our not only due diligence, we took the advice of an international attorney to actually set up all of this, set up the nation of Hawaii, set up a proclamation, set up a constitution, have all these legitimate things back in the 90s. It's 94, 95, 93, 94, 95. So that builds credibility and experience and longevity in a movement that still continues today.
Mm.
I still hear. I remember I was 30 when I was going to Makapu, and Lighthouse, the one before the one that brought us here. So the economy, the economic side, a lot of the help we're going to need is putting the word out that we're creating this. We need to, and I want to do this at this point, put in all the state, federal, and international legislators, those on the judiciary, those from the executive branch, and all the different departments. I want to let you know that we are starting a central bank. I want to notify you that we are starting the Nation of Hawaii Bank, and that we have gone through and started to develop the policies now of banking, creating a central bank. This is important because as we pursue, like the political side, we would always get shut down by the government. Economically, I think we got a better shot, a better chance at maybe even the government helping us, because of these things that we suffer for hundreds of years. We're asking the government to help us, the United States government, the state of Hawaii government, especially in protecting us as we develop this central bank, as we continue to notify, as we continue to apply for certain documentation, and even the Federal Reserve. We wanna let the governments know that, in the same breath, it sounds like we're nailing you for injustices, but at the same breath, we're saying we have a solution to go with this.
No.
And that solution is that we need your help. And it's not political now.
Yeah.
So I don't see how you guys will get tied up in politically helping us. You know, all the people in Washington, the whole U.S. Congress, the executive branch, and also the Supreme Court, all the way down, Supreme Appellate Circuit District Courts of the United States. This is a notice letting you know that we are creating this central bank called the Nation of Hawaii Bank.
Yeah, and you know, the letter is going to be going out beginning this week, next week, and going to constantly be going out to all these public officials that this is what we're doing, because we're trying to be transparent. We're not trying to sound scam. It's not anything like that. This is for real, and this is for help. Remember that this is for real and this is for help. We're not trying to be on hindrance. We're trying to assist in the economic woes of this state, because our people is being affected, and we got to do our part for help that. And so that's what that's about, giving everybody one notice. And you know, we got one question from Brother Jay Kahe'e, you know, that brother was on. He was asking if we have any requirements to be a shareholder. You know, if you're a felon, sex offender, if you know, whatever it is, do you get denied your share? And you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Uncle. Everybody get one share, right?
Yeah, everyone went for sure. And then the citizens
Of the nation.
Yeah.
So it's every Kanaka and every citizen of the nation of Hawaii will get one share. And you know, this is spread out to everybody. Everybody gonna get one share each. When you born, you get your share. When you make, your share go back into the kitty and gets dispersed amongst everybody. But it's something for all of our people, regardless of the situation you're in now, the situation you're gonna be in the future, and so forth, because it's all about sharing this resource. You know, we cannot regulate our people based on the decisions they made and all that. You know,
Sharing the wealth.
sharing the wealth, yeah, just equally.
Got to balance out the wealth is unbalanced to the max. And I think the fact that technology has brought digital currency, blockchain technology into the mix, and of course cryptocurrency as well, into the mix of things, that gives us a better chance,
Yeah.
you know, to do this,
To share the wealth.
to share the wealth in such a way that, and I think people heading that direction too.
Yeah.
You know, as on Kupuna too, not just the head of state, I seen society change, huge change in the generations right across the board, not just Hawaii, but all the generations, the kind 50, 40, 30 years old. They're different from our time, our generation. They're caring more for people that you know, you can see them. The pandemic, you see people coming, they're giving up their time, giving up, you know, the labor and all that stuff. So I think it's timely. You know, we're gonna approach the state government to see how we can work with them too, because I'd like to get a lot of these things, like we were talking about, getting into the elementary schools, and start learning about this.
Yeah, we all live together. We all go together. We start rebuilding this ahupua'a. You know, like you know, this is all knowledge passed down to us from our kupuna. So the idea of sharing with every Kanaka is not something that we just created right now. This is something that Kekua created, Mother Nature created. This is Mother Nature's true way of being. It's circular. It feeds each other. You malama aina, aina malama you. Same idea with our economy. We gotta go with Mother Nature instead of trying to go against, creating our own ideas, you know, doing our own thing that, you know, really up to this point has created inequality, injustice, all of that stuff. So the Central Bank of the Nation of Hawaii is formed the structure is in place. If anybody is interested in getting more involved with us, especially when we start going out into your communities, please contact us. Please message me, message Uncle. We like get to talk story with you guys. Yeah, go to the nationofhawaii.org site. If you want to sign up to be a citizen, please go to the nationofhawaii.org site so you can be a part of this movement. This is one new type of movement. This is not the political sovereignty movement that everybody is used to. This is the economic sovereignty movement that is going to move forward with solutions. And we let you guys be part of that. So please sign up at thenationofhawaii.org if you're a New Zealand citizen. Please message us if you like us come out to your community to talk story more about this. And if you guys that get involved, just be in touch with us. If you guys get any other questions, leave them in the chat. We'll try to address them as best as we can. And yeah, thank you guys for thank you guys for joining and listening to us rant for a good 40 minutes about this stuff. But exciting for us, we getting excited just talking about them.
Yeah, finally we can share this. That's why we focus, with everybody. It was kind of like talking about them, but then we just had to solidify things that we did. So we're really happy about it. One of the things in creating the bank was the relationships we're creating right now.
Yeah. The partnerships, the new technologies,
the different countries.
Yeah.
Right? We through our banking relationships, we have consul generals in Bulgaria and Lithuania, Spain, and we just got the first draft for a sister city with Zanzibar of Tanzania. I think we're building these relationships. In fact, we got to talk to the mayor of Zanzibar, who is actually working with our bank to develop for some development on his island.
Yeah, not the club in Zanzibar, the actual island, the place called Zanzibar.
Your place of East Africa called Zanzibar. Sorry about that. But yeah, and so just give you an idea on what we're involved in Zanzibar. The mayor wants to put up 2 hotels, and he wants to put up some golf courses. And we're brokering that whole situation, right, with the government, and then our bank, and then the investors that might be involved in wanting to be part of the development, be part of the benefits, right?
Yeah.
And so that is what I mean, that we're looking from a central banking view, out inside out now. That we're looking at these kinds of things, get other deals out there, like huge.
Trying to bring resources back to our central bank so that we can create, economic sovereignty here for our people. And that's the idea of doing all these big things. We're not doing them in our community just yet because we're gearing up for that. But at the same time, we gotta go get resources so that we can bring resources back to our community, Hawaii, everybody over here.
And this just telling our story.
Yeah.
Just telling the story of the Hawaiian, what happened to Hawaii, the overthrow. And everybody, anybody that know us, we're gonna give you that story right off the bat, our 5 document packet, and you're gonna go, you have to go through that before you talk to us about anything else. And so that pays off because that has brought, movies to our front door. Now it's brought a banker to our front door. It's brought many world-renowned people into our lives within the last year. And all of these people are high-profile people that are involved in 3D printing, waste-to-power technology. Waste to power. This means getting rid of all the crap, turning that into power. And so there's these technologies. When you get out of the restrictions in America, or at least knowledge of that, you get outside, you realize that a lot of technology out there that is already working for countries. working for other people. The one thing that Hawaii has, which is real beneficial to everybody else out in the world, is us being an example like for broadband, like internet service provider. The village became one, a provider in our small way. We're learning all the things that you need to know about broadband network and all that stuff, right? Well, this is what's happening. We're building that capacity now. And so we need help. We need help, meaning now I think now we're not afraid to like engage even more deeply into the community because of things being done completely like finished already. So we can go in now. We can go in and talk story. We can have these conversations now. Even family kind now. You got your family reunions. You guys like. I remember 25, 30 years ago, I used to go to family reunions and, go do talks at these reunions with the families because they wanted to know. And it's this kind of big Hawaiian families that's getting together and wanting to know more. And that can all be arranged. I mean, we got a lot of work to do, but all fun work. Never have I seen a movement more ready today than before. I guess because all the scrappers all getting older now. They're not scrapping as hard, just complaining harder. So but hey, that's all my brothers and sisters complaining real hard out there.
Yeah.
And we're doing this for that.
Yeah.
We're doing this even for the Hawaiian that on the beach have no idea how precious and how valuable he is or she is or the baby is. They don't know. We know. We're trying to fight. When I see all people out there struggling, look hungry, homeless, houseless, I'm all sick. Sick because we have this place and you still got to be cautious about bringing anybody in here now because you get 4 generations in this village, right? And you gotta know the people. It's like a KYC, know your customer. You gotta know. See, that's what banking did to us. Anti-money laundering, that too.
Yeah.
But I know
So yeah, gang, we ready for this. So like I shared earlier, we're gonna be coming out into our community. We're gonna be coming out into your community. We're gonna be talking story with you guys coming up in the next year or so. Just educating everybody on what we're doing and inviting everybody to become part of the nation of Hawaii, become part of the process and how we roll out this central bank. As we build shareholdership, as we build ownership for our community, we're building commercial banks underneath the central bank, all of that kind of stuff so that you guys can have accounts, you guys can have digital wallets with our digital currency on top, you can put stuff on the blockchain, NFTs, all this kind of stuff. We're gonna come out to teach everybody about this kind of stuff. And you guys can get involved, be part of this new economy that the nation of Hawaii is creating, and just making sure everybody is aware and we're moving forward. So if you guys like any more information, please visit nationofhawaii.org. If you like sign up to be one citizen, same place, nationofhawaii.org, sign up, real easy. And we're gonna keep doing more of these lives and keep educating and keep sharing with you guys because we're building this thing now, gang. It's not for next year or 5 years from now, and then eventually we're gonna get happening now. But happen as fast as we can get the help and the assistance and build up the education for ourselves because we gotta be the bankers, not somebody else be the banker for us and then they manage our money for us and then they're making all the money off of us. We gotta be the ones. So if people are interested in getting involved, we're gonna start making a list, start contacting people, and so just be engaged with us guys, you guys. But
if you think Bitcoin started off, how much it was when it started off? Like
Zero.
Zero.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, the metaphor I was thinking about was imagine people that sold their Bitcoin at 25 cents or 30 cents or 40 cents at that time. Everybody wished they would buy Bitcoin, right? All of us wish we would buy way back when. Our bank, the central bank, is even more greater than that. Huge, huge. Get involved.
Right on, gang. Thanks for joining, and we'll be in touch. Stay connected, nationofhawaii.org. Aloha.
Aloha.